Hello and welcome to another episode of My Sixth Grade Life. In this week's video, the students were placed in random groups and they were working to analyze the main character of the story that we're reading called Freak the Mighty. We've recently been working on the literary element of characterization. So the students learned that authors use a variety of ways to develop their characters, and we as readers can learn about characters through many different ways, including the character's thoughts, the character's words, their feelings, their choices, and their actions. So what you see in the video is the students working with the group of their peers to try to analyze the character of Max. They're trying to make inferences about the character based off of these different categories. The students have been doing a great job working through Unit 1 and learning these literary elements. So enjoy this video and enjoy another look at My Sixth Grade Life.
Yeah, so by Max thinking he's a butthead, so he thinks he's dumb and Kevin's smarter than him because every time him and Kevin are having a conversation, he says, I don't want to look like a butthead.
And plus, he thinks he's stupid, then why would we have he thinks he's stupid in words?
So what's one of the words that you chose to describe him?
Helpful.
Okay, how'd you know he was helpful?
Because even after Kevin called him a name, he went and helped Kevin get the ornithopter out of the tree.
Okay, was that a thought, a feeling, a choice, or an action?
That was the choice.
I did loyal.
Okay.
Because he's loyal to Freak. When Freak stood up to Tony D, he decided to lift them up on his shoulders.
So that's something I want you guys to work together. So they're helping you with this one, and then you help these guys with that one.
We looked back at chapter 3 and saw that Max gives the ornithopter back to Freak, so we wrote that down.
Okay, so what was your inference you made by that choice about Max?
Max is very kind and will help give things back.
So he's kind and helpful. Yeah, and so listen, rely on those words. Use these words, okay? Okay. So you've got one of the feelings already, right? So what'd you say for one of the feelings?
That's emotional.
Okay, well that's your inference. What was the evidence or your example from the text?
He cried after he had dinner with Freak and his mom.
Okay, so that's what happened in the text. And then your inference was Max is emotional.
For our feeling, we put Max cried like a baby as our text example, and for our inference, we put Max cried because he was happy.
Okay. Can I give you guys another tip? Remember what we were doing yesterday at the start of class? Start on this page. I think it's so much easier. We've circled all these inferences we've already made. What's one of the inferences that you made about Max?
Helpful.
Okay, Max is helpful. Okay, so now go back over here. How did you know Max is helpful?
Because he helped get the ornithopter out of the tree.
Okay, so now where would that fit? Would that fit with thoughts, words, feelings, choices, or actions?
Choices?
So there you go. You just did one verbally with me. Now all you guys have to do is take it and put it down. Don't overlook what we did in class yesterday. That was the precursor to being able to do a good job on this. So use that page 14, I think it is, because we've already circled all of these words that describe Max. Those were all of the inferences we were making about him. And then from those inferences, boom, we can fill in this graphic organizer. Now we get a really deep understanding of who Max is. All right. What do you guys have so far? I see you have something down for actions. At least Brody does.
I see he kicked teachers and random people.
He kicked teachers. Okay, and what else?
Random people.
Okay, so he kicked people. All right, based off of that, Brody, what's the inference that you make about Max?
I'm gonna say he likes to kick.
That's not so much an inference though, because you're here, you know he already kicks it. If you're kicking people, what emotion might you have? You're a what? It may not be on that page. This page is great, page 14, but it doesn't have every word on it. Brody, look at me. If you just were a person, you walked around, you were kicking people. How do you feel inside? Are you a happy guy?
Angry.
You're angry. So is angry on this list? It's alphabetical, so it's not on this list. So this list is great, but it's only a starting point. So, and I like it. I want you to stick with this, okay? Max, he kicks people. He kicked his teachers. He kicked random people. The inference we're making is Max is an angry kid, right? I want you to write that down. Okay, this is a good inference because if you're a happy kid, you probably don't go around kicking people, right?
Yeah, definitely
Right.
not.
So give me one word to describe Max on that page.
Emotional.
How do you know he's emotional?
Because he cried during the picnic.
Okay, give me something different that you haven't already written. Give me.
Max on his
Okay,
Generous.
he puts Kevin on his shoulder, so that tells you he's
Generous.
generous and kind. Give me an inference that you made about Max.
Max is emotional
Okay, how did you know?
because he was crying under his bed because he's happy.
You guys have about a minute left. What do you guys have? Are you guys done?
I was just doing feelings and
These are the ones I circled. So, the few are confusing me, so
Max thinks Kevin's smart. But would that be in his fault? Let's keep on looking so sometimes we can find a better one.
What's your inference that you're making there, Logan?
Max is loyal.
Okay, Max is loyal. Good. Here, that's a nice, simple inference. That's what we want. You're going to write it as well. You guys are all working together. And then you go with, how did you know?
Because he never left Kevin behind on the streets when he went on a quest.
There you go. So you're putting this in which category?
Choices.
Choices. That works for me. So what's your inference that you're making right now, Taylor?
The Max is helpful for the choices.
Okay, Mac, hold on. Max is helpful. Don't forget your period. And how did we know that he's helpful? What'd you put down there,
he
Gabe?
put Kevin on his shoulders to help him watch the fireworks.
All right, and then what category did you end up putting that in there, William?
Choices.
Okay, so that was a choice he made. Good. See, simple, right?
Well, we did Max is helpful like earlier.
Okay, so where did you put that with his what category?
Choices.
Choices, and how did you know?
Because he didn't have to get the ornithopter out of the tree for Kevin. He could have just walked away.
Okay. Do you want to tell me the one that you're working on right now? It looks like you have it down in actions.
Yeah, we did Max is loyal because Max was listening to everything Kevin was saying. Like when he Kevin told him to go into the pond and he did.
Okay. Can I think about the word? Is loyal the best word to pick there? If he's listening to everything that Kevin is saying and he's doing everything that Kevin is... Okay, not trustworthy, but the other trust words. Go to your... Yes. So I think that shows he's very trusting, right? Max really trusts Kevin. He's trusting. He's willing to go into the pond. He's willing to go left when he says go left and go right when he says go right. So I don't disagree with you. I just think a better word instead of loyal might be to say Max is trusting. All right, you guys are in fine shape. You got 2 more to go?
Yep.
So where's that going, Zeta? What's your inference?
Feelings. Max is joyful
Max is joyful? Okay. What made you say that?
because he cried tears of joy
All right, when? Be more specific. He cries tears of joy when?
after he came home from Kevin's house.
Yeah, from having dinner, right? What category are you putting that in?
Feelings.
The feelings one, okay. What was your inference?
I did Max is forgiven.
Okay, forgiving. Not forgiven, but forgiving.
Yeah, forgiven.
All right, so what made you say that?
Because he forgave Gwen when she ran away from him.
Okay. There's another reason we could say that he's forgiving. What's the other reason that he's forgiving?
Because he forgave Kevin when he said die or fin die.
Yeah, good. All right, keep going. You guys have a couple more to go. So, what's one of the inferences that you've made? What's one of the words that you circled from page 14?
I circled helpful
Okay, why did you say Max is helpful?
because he helped Kevin to like be able to see and stuff.
Seeing stuff when?
And the
Fireworks. Okay, now look at your categories. Where would you put that for categories?
I'd say choices.
Okay, so begin with your inference. Right here. You just said Max is what?
Helpful.
So write it down. Simple. Max is helpful. 3 words. All right, now, but don't forget your period. And then you just told me, how did you know that? What did he do?
He chose to help Kevin.
See, help the fireworks. So that's what you write right there. He chose to pick up Kevin so he could see the fireworks. And that's what you're basing your inference off of. Okay, so give me another one. Give me another word. Max is what? You said you're struggling, so.
Max is trustworthy
Okay, what makes you say Max is trustworthy?
because he helped Kevin several times, like getting away from Tony D, getting the ornithopter out of the tree, and carrying him on his shoulders.
Okay, So, I like the carrying him on his shoulders because that really does show trustworthiness, right? Because he's really taking care of Kevin. So, where would that go? We have thoughts, feelings, and actions left.
I feel like actions.
I would agree. So, right to the inference, Max is trustworthy. And then how did you know? Because he carries Kevin on his shoulders on all of these quests. All right.
Oh, now I know why. Max is aggressive.
Because he kicks people.
Oh yeah, he kicks his teacher.
He kicked them in pre-K, I think. And his name was the kicker. He was
Okay.
nicknamed the kicker.
Can I add a word to what you're saying?
Sure.
All right, and I don't know if I talked about this with this class or if it was just the last one. But if you're kicking people, yes, you're aggressive, but what else are you inside? You're probably...
angry, mad.
Happy people don't go around kicking people. So I would go with this for my inference. Max is aggressive and angry. We're putting these two words together. Max is aggressive and angry. And how do we know this? Is because when he was younger, he kicked people. I would make sure you include those words when he's younger. Because does he go around kicking people now?
No.
No.
I don't think he would just go around. Bam. He's very quiet.
If he kicked people now, he'd probably really hurt them.
Yeah.
So, you guys were off to a really hot start earlier, and it looks like you've just continued.
Yeah.
You want to share one of the inferences that you've made?
For feeling,
All right, for feelings. What's the inference you made?
it is Max is honest.
Okay, how did you know?
He feels like he has to be honest to have a friend, to have a friendship with Max.
Because when he was in bed, he got woken up, but then he told Freak that he had to what's the word? He was too tired, so he went back to sleep. So he had to be honest.
One of the things that I think about is the secret. Kevin makes Max swear that you'll keep him a secret, right? And has he kept the secret so far?
Yeah.
So that shows that he is honest. When he told Kevin he would keep his secret, he has kept his secret. So I kind of like that one. All right, you guys are in really good shape. You're almost done. Your inference you're saying is that Max thinks he is dumb. And we know that because he says, I never had a brain.
Until feet come.
Okay, so listen, Jacob, your next question is what category do you put that in?
Thoughts.
You guys got started yet?
Yeah, we're thinking about Max's thoughts.
Okay, I'll give you guys a few minutes to think and I'll come back. Okay. What inference have you made so far, guys?
We have Max is helpful.
Okay.
Because he helps Kevin get the ornithopter out of the tree.
Okay, so the inference is Max is helpful. Don't forget your period. Because these are sentences. You're saying Max is helpful. It's a sentence. All right, and then your explanation, Trent, was?
Max is helpful because he helps Kevin get the ornithopter out the tree.
Very good. So, pick what's one of the words you used to describe him?
That he's friendly.
Okay, do we agree? Do you want to go with this one? He's friendly? Okay, let's talk. How do we know he's friendly?
He went to Max. He saw Freak. It's beating up the tree, but he doesn't do anything. But he goes over and he sees something blue in the tree, and he grabs it out of the tree and gives it to him.
Okay. I'll go with it. So, do you agree that shows that he's friendly, Olivia? When he goes over and chooses to help him get the ornithopter out of the tree? So look, you have 3 categories. Would it fit with words, feelings, or choices? Would it fit with one of those categories?
Feelings?
I might think one of the other categories is better. Go back.
Oh, one. Choices.
Okay, Jacob, choices. He chooses this, right? And I like that because previously, Kevin had told him to die or Earthling die, right?
Yeah.
But Max is friendly, and he makes the choice to help him get this ornithopter. So I like it. I think it would fit here. So the inference is that what? Max is, you said it?
It's friendly.
Max is friendly. So there you go. 3 words. Max is friendly. What category are you working on? Choices. What was your inference for this category?
That is trustworthy.
Okay. What made you think that? What was your text example or your evidence?
Because Max keeps a secret about Kevin being the first human robot.
Okay, that's a really good example. You're working on your 4th inference already? Oh, she's got 4 going. She's got 3 done already. She's working on her 4th. What's the inference you're making, Isabella? What are you writing down right now?
I put Max is trustworthy.
Okay, what'd you put down? Right here, the one that you were just writing. Max is trustworthy. Don't forget your period. All right. So what was your text example, or what's your evidence to prove that he's trustworthy?
For not
Kevin feels that he won't tell the secret that Kevin is gonna tell him.
Yeah, so he keeps Kevin's secret about being the what? The first human robot, right? Yeah, he keeps that secret. So it shows he's trustworthy. Excellent. Where's this group at?
We did the choices done.
All right, so you got actions, you got choices, you have something for thoughts. All right, is there something that we can think about for words or feelings? And again, go back to page 14. I like how you're using your notes, Jacob. I like how you're using page 14. Let's go back. Okay, so this is not under thoughts, it goes under words. So Max, you could start with the inference. What's the inference?
Max thinks that Kevin is a genius.
Good, and how do you know it?
Because he was talking to Grimm and he said that Kevin knows all of the words in the dictionary.
Yeah, he's memorized almost the entire dictionary. All right, so there you go. That's something that he said. This is what he said to Grimm. One of the words you circled.
Kind.
Okay. Which one do you want to go with, kind or independent?
Independent.
Okay. What makes you say he's independent?
He has no friends.
He probably mostly makes his own food sometimes.
Did his whole all the time.
Okay. He spends a lot of time in the Down Under all by himself. Okay. So now here's the tricky part, though. What category would that be in? Actions, choices, feelings, words, or thoughts?
Choices.
Yeah, he chooses. It's kind of a choice that he makes. So you begin with the inference. What was the inference that you just said, Jordan?
That he was like always in the Down Under.
That was your example.
Oh, yeah.
What was the inference? Matthew? Max is what?
Independent.
Max is independent. So you start by writing your inference down. Max is independent. All right. And then you said it's a choice. So under here, Max chooses to spend a lot of time in the Down Under all by himself. Can I make another observation? Do you think independence is the best word to describe that? Do you think he's like...
Lonely.
Oh, thank you. Dylan, you went to exactly where I wanted you to go. So Max is independent, comma, I would use a transition, but he's also probably what? Lonely. He is independent, but he's probably lonely. And now that's an even better inference. So Max thinks he's dumb as your inference?
Yes.
All right. What category did you put that inference in?
Thoughts.
So what is the thought that got you to that inference?
In the story, he says, Kevin let me borrow his brain for a while.
In the story, he says. So why is it in thoughts? You just said he says. What would be a better category for it? Words. Just based off of what you told me. You said in the story, he says he never had a brain. So should it go in the thoughts or should it go with the words? I'd probably put it with the words based off of what you just said. Does that make sense to you, Derek?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's an inference that you made so far?
Max likes his quiet place. Yeah, it's like his quiet place.
Okay. Tell me what category you put that in.
We put that
In his thoughts. Why did you put it there? What is the text example or what's your evidence, your proof?
He likes going under his bed to go into his bed. He likes going under his bed. It said he was under his bed and his head got stuck and tried to leave, but his feet stayed
Okay.
up.
how it's just a big thing and nothing, and you don't even know yourself is there.
All right. One of the words I might think about including is it to me shows how thoughtful Max is. Yeah, there's some people that they just think on things a lot, and then there's other people that just brush things off. Is Max one of those guys that just brushes things off? No, he really spends a lot of time thinking. So Max is really thoughtful. Another word that I would use, a fancy word, pensive. And that just is a fancy word for saying that you're thoughtful. He really thinks on these things. He thinks things through. So when Gwen gets freaked out by him, he doesn't just brush it off. He thinks on it. And when Kevin says die, Earthling, die, he doesn't just brush it off. He spends time in thought thinking about what happened. So I would include the word thoughtful.
We're pretty much words and thoughts the same thing, though.
You gotta think of
What
what you
you
say.
Because you can think about he thinks Kevin's smart.
Yeah, he thinks Kevin's. Well, Max thinks Kevin's smart.
Max
Not
thinks
he.
Kevin.
Not he. Max. So if you read it.
Are you writing the inference? Are you writing your text example? What are you guys writing? Tell me.
The inference. We're still trying to figure out what he thinks about Kevin.
It doesn't have to be about
He's
Kevin.
a problem solver.
Wait a minute. He also said he thinks Kevin is the smartest kid in the world.
He's pretty much a genius. That'd be the inference.
Wait,
So hold on, can I go back for a quick second? Don't overcomplicate it. Go to this page, pick one of the words you circled. Max is
Thoughtful.
Max is thoughtful. Why? Is that already on your graphic organizer too, by the way? Max
no,
is
he's
thoughtful?
quiet.
Max is quiet.
Yeah.
Pick a different one, something even better.
Independent.
You guys want to go with independent?
Well, but Kevin
What about trust?
Well, here's the thing is, independent is different. Because independent means you really rely just on yourself. And I had a conversation with another group, and we were talking that it's not so much that he's independent, he's lonely. It's more about him, he's lonely. He does a lot of things by himself because he has no friends. So he's lonely. But I'm looking over here. Max is thoughtful. I like that one. Max is trusting. Max is trustworthy.
Trustworthy. That'd be a good one.
Okay, so what makes you say he's trustworthy?
Because when Max put Kevin on his shoulders when they came across NDD, he didn't like drop him.
So he took good care of Kevin when he was up on his shoulders? Yeah. So go back to your graphic organizer. What category would that go with? Thoughts, choices, or actions? Actions?
I feel like it could go on either one of these.
I agree.
Choices.
I agree. It could go in either one. You want to put it in choices?
Because he could have chose to put him down, but he also.
So start with your inference. I actually kind of like actions better, but it can go in either one. So you pick. Max is what? What was the inference we just said? Max is trustworthy. You pick the category and write it down.
I do actually trust. Alright, so we got right there.
All right, Riker said go with actions. So write it down in that category, Riker. Write it down. No, Max is trustworthy. I do think that that's a better category for this one. Because it's not like he's making one choice. He's continually doing it. Every time Kevin rides up on his shoulders, Max is taking good care of Kevin up there.
Go Max.
Okay? So now, don't forget your period. And so now you just explain it, what we just talked about. Max does a good job, or he takes a good care of Kevin every time Kevin's riding up on his shoulders. All right? We just keep it nice and keep it simple. All right, you guys believe it or not, you're going to finish that one, and then we're going to go back as a whole group, okay? So all you got to do is think about what Max says.
How do you know which way is east? That's a word he said.
He has said a lot of things.
Yeah, all of this is what he said. He said all
He
this.
is basically, because he is the narrator, everything in the story is what he's saying. We can also get right to the heart of it, and we can look at the stuff that's in the quotes for things that he has said. We're going to go over it in a second, so I'm going to help the whole group, and we'll see what the other class, what the rest of the group came up with, if they came up with anything.